For nearly 60 years, the California Legislative Black Caucus has been addressing the concerns of Black Americans and other Californians of color. Today, there are 12 members of the Black Caucus, and leading the group is State Senator Dr. Akilah Weber Pierson, who represents the 39th District, which includes portions of San Diego County. And she joins me now. So good to have you on today, Senator.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're celebrating the 100th anniversary of Black History Month being celebrated and acknowledged in this country. What does this milestone mean to you?
You know, this is a very important milestone to have 100 years of us nationally recognizing the importance that Blacks have contributed to this country, not only that we learn our history, but other Americans learn our history. And, you know, recently we've had some interesting things come out of the White House where they promoted some racial tropes of our first Black president and first Black First Lady. And so that really reinforces the need and the importance of this month, and why we must always remember that we need to focus on what we have done in this country, what we contribute to this country, what we have contributed, what we continue to contribute. And February is really a time where we are able to really focus on us. And I'm so very proud and excited that we will be celebrating and that we are celebrating 100 years and look forward to 100 plus more years. But we see that the work is important. It's not something of the past. It's not something that we need to stop. It is something that we need to continue every single year.
And as chair of the Black Caucus, what are the top issues you want to focus on this year?
So the California Legislative Black Caucus has always focused on promoting policies and budget asks that really improve the lives of Black Californians. And we know that when we focus on improving the lives of Black Californians, we ultimately end up improving the lives of all Californians. And so for the last couple of years, we have been focusing on our reparations package, looking at what the task force recommended and how we can implement those either through policies, i.e. legislation and bills, or through budgetary asks. We got the agency passed last year, which was a huge win. Not only do we have it established, but we also have it funded. And so that establishes the actual agency for descendants of those who were enslaved in the United States. It is a first in a nation bill. And within this agency, there will be various divisions that specifically address the needs and the harms of those who are descendants of those enslaved. One of the departments that will be up and running first will be the genealogy division, and CSU is working on that with another bill that was signed last year, so that people have a place to go to say, I believe I am a descendant. And they know exactly what they will need to do in order to actually prove that they are a descendant, so that they can then receive other services within the state through this agency. So this agency is really set up to repair the harms that were done to those who are descendants of American chattel slavery. And so those are really big things that the caucus was able to get passed last year and signed into law or put into the budget. And so this year we are going to also continue that work, but we also recognize the time that we're in. We are in a time where the federal administration is attacking Black communities, Black people from all angles, whether it has to do with jobs, housing, education. And so we are also having to pick up that mantle to not only repair the past, but also deal with the harms that are coming from the federal administration this year.
And you've introduced a number of bills already this year. Can you highlight a few of them and the ones that are really important to you?
I have a bill, SB 503, which I actually introduced last year, which was a caucus priority and a part of the reparations package. And we're still working on it and plan on getting that passed this year and signed into law by the governor. And that deals with bias within the medical AI space. As a physician, that is something that is extremely important to me. I have seen bias, within the healthcare profession, and understand that if we don't get on top of bias within the AI space now, then in 5-10 years, we will be continuing to see a lot of the disparities that we currently see, because we didn't recognize that the way in which we are inputting information into multiple of these AI algorithms are inherently biased themselves. And so working on that bill, looking forward to getting that through and signed. I'm also working on a bill that deals with more information around the amount of sugar that we consume. As you and your listeners and everyone is aware, diabetes is rampant, obesity is rampant, particularly within our Black and Brown communities. And so when you're picking up a drink that you're drinking, and whether it's a latte or a beverage, and you don't know the amount of sugar content, it's extremely important that you at least have that knowledge of how much sugar you're consuming, even if it's not specifically on a menu, because these places know, and you should be informed. And so that's one of the bills that I have introduced, AB 869. And then, one of the other bills that I will be introducing this year, actually this week, crossing this week, has to do with math literacy. I'm a mother of 2 young boys who are going through our public education system, and it really disheartens me when I see the chronic low-performing academic outcome of our Black students, particularly in the areas of reading and math. And we've done some things in the state that deal with screening for reading literacy early on. And there's just as good data in other states about screening for math proficiency early on, and really doing a lot of targeted intervention very early on, because we know that once kids get by 3rd grade, if you're not reading and doing math on your grade level, it is very difficult to catch up later on. And so I am working with Ed Voice on a bill that really talks about early math proficiency screening in our kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, with the hopes of really being able to close that academic gap for our Black and Brown children.
You are working on a lot of issues that are important to Californians. Senator, I appreciate your time today. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage. And click the subscribe button here. You can also download our app and watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.